Imagine your brain as a supercomputer that never shuts off, constantly analyzing, planning, and simulating every possible scenario before making a decision. This is the daily reality for those with high intelligence. Have you ever found yourself at the grocery store, frozen in indecision, staring at 50 different types of cereal and wondering why you can't just pick one and move on? It's a common struggle for smart individuals. In this video, we'll explore why this happens and share some simple tips to help you stop overthinking and start taking action. Think about the last time you tried to choose a movie on Netflix. With thousands of options, you might end up so overwhelmed. This is called the paradox of choice, and it hits intelligent people hard. They don't just see options, they see a vast map of possibilities and consequences, making decisions feel like solving a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Research shows that people with higher intelligence often have busier brains, particularly in the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for complex thinking and decision-making. Because it's so active, they become extremely aware of every possible outcome of their decisions, even minor ones. For example, when faced with a decision, smart individuals often come up with a multitude of options, and then options within those options. While it might seem like having many choices is a good thing, it actually makes deciding much harder. Imagine trying to pick a snack at a huge buffet where everything looks good. It's overwhelming. This overload of choices can wear them out, making even small decisions feel like big ones. Picture yourself in a massive clothing store surrounded by racks of jeans, shirts, jackets, and more. It might sound like a shopper's paradise, but for an overthinker, it's more like a shopper's puzzle. First, there's the style decision. Skinny jeans may be trendy, but they're almost like a workout to put on. Straight-leg jeans might be more comfortable, but do they mean you're giving up on fashion? By the time you've overanalyzed every option, you're so exhausted that you might just walk out with a pair of sweatpants. They match everything, require zero thought, and they're super comfy. This is the kind of mental gymnastics that smart people go through all the time. Now let's do a quick exercise. Ready? Hit that subscribe button without overthinking it for even a second. Just a simple click. There, you've just practiced making a swift decision. Highly intelligent people are very self-aware. They don't just think about what happens right after making a decision. They think about how it will affect them and others in the long run. They're playing a mental game of chess, trying to predict moves far in advance. This means that even simple decisions can feel like running a marathon in their heads. Say there's a party you're considering attending. For most people, the decision might simply depend on whether they feel like going out or not. But a highly intelligent person would weigh countless factors: the benefit of meeting new people versus the energy it takes to socialize, or how the party dynamics could help with networking. They might even think about who else will be at the party. If they know someone who always talks their ear off, they might prepare mentally for how to escape those conversations. Or they could worry about eating something they'll regret when someone offers them a slice of pizza. What's a simple yes or no decision for some turns into a whole strategy session for those with high intelligence. And it doesn't stop at parties. This kind of overthinking can show up in everyday situations like shopping. While most people grab their usual brand without a second thought, the overthinker breaks down their decision like it's a major financial investment. This depth of analysis can lead to what's known as analysis paralysis, where making any decision feels like an impossible task. Imagine planning a vacation, but getting so bogged down in the details that the trip never happens. For the intellectually gifted, their ability to foresee and scrutinize every detail can prevent them from taking action. Socially, overthinking can turn simple conversations into complex operations. Imagine going on a date and analyzing every word, facial expression, and body movement like you're a secret agent trying to defuse a bomb under the dinner table. Did they laugh at my joke because it was funny, or were they just being polite? Are they genuinely interested in my story about quantum physics, or are they just nodding along while planning their escape route? It's not just you and your Netflix indecision. Even some of history's smartest people have been there. Take Charles Darwin, for example. This guy came up with the theory of evolution, but then sat on it like a nervous hen on an egg for nearly 20 years, constantly questioning whether he should publish his work. That hesitation lasted for decades. Then there's Leonardo da Vinci, the ultimate perfectionist. He couldn't just finish a painting and move on. He had to keep adding and tweaking, always aiming for perfection. The Mona Lisa, for instance, was his ongoing project for 16 years. He kept it with him, making small changes. You have to wonder if the Mona Lisa herself would have told him to just make up his mind already, if she could. Overthinkers often tend to be perfectionists. But being a perfectionist isn't just about wanting everything perfect. It's mostly about being afraid of the mess if it's not perfect. This fear leads to overthinking because perfectionists replay every decision to avoid making mistakes. For a perfectionist, even picking out socks can feel like a big decision. They might wonder, if I wear the striped ones, will everyone think I'm weird? They go over these details again and again, trying to make everything just right. So how can you stop your brain from overthinking everything? Try setting a timer for your decisions. Give yourself a strict limit, maybe 5 minutes to pick a new phone case, or 30 seconds to decide on your breakfast cereal. When time's up, just go with whatever you're leaning towards. Another trick is to limit your options. Instead of trying to choose from dozens of possibilities, narrow it down to 3. This can make deciding much easier. Sometimes it's okay to settle for good enough. Not every choice needs to be perfect. Picking a decent breakfast cereal is fine. It doesn't need to be the absolute best. If you really can't decide, flip a coin. It's quick, it's decisive, and it can save you from a lot of unnecessary stress. Lastly, try to find humor in the situation. Laughing at yourself for overthinking can lighten the mood and help you realize that maybe it's not such a big deal. This can make it easier to make a decision and move on. If you enjoy content like this, make sure to subscribe for more.